How do you get rich? Spend money. That's what New Age financial guru Ramit Sethi says in one of his 10 money rules. I was shocked to learn that many people have not heard of Ramit, despite his amazing ability to communicate. I linked to some of his books down in the description of this video. Just read them. The overall premise here is simple. If you do not have a financial plan, you are setting yourself up for a life of struggle. You are going to work hard your entire life, and all that money is going to disappear into a black hole. You'll have no idea where it went. You probably have no idea where it all goes now. I will tell you this, wealthy people abide by financial rules. They don't get rich by accident. They have a plan. Which is why I believe adopting a financial framework like the one suggested by Ramit Sethi is critically important. Starting a plan like the one Sethi suggests right now will be your first step to a rewarding financial future. You will build real wealth. But how? Let's examine these 10 money rules and the justifications for them so you can see how they will help you. Rule 1. Always have 1 year of emergency funds, cash. When an unforeseen need arises, having an emergency fund that is simple to access can come in handy. How much, though, should you have on hand? For many years, the majority of gurus advocated having a 6-month emergency fund. After COVID-19's financial calamity, this altered. Sethi recently changed his mind and increased his emergency fund need from 6 months to a full year. Furthermore, you should keep your emergency reserve in cash rather than investments. Use a high-yield savings account that you can access quickly in case of an emergency. Don't gamble it in the stock market. For me, I keep a 1-year emergency fund in a money market account with Vanguard. But that won't help you get rich, which is the whole point. So how do you get rich? That leads us to Rule 2. Rule 2. Save 10% and put 20% into investments. The majority of experts advise setting aside and investing a portion of your income, but Sethi provides precise figures. His specific rule is to set aside 10% of your gross income for savings and invest 20%. Your savings component is used for more immediate objectives, short-term expenses. This includes money set aside for an emergency, a summer trip, a new automobile, or even a down payment on a house. The actual investments, such as those in your retirement account, are made in the investing section. Again, the investing section is 20% of your income. In the past, investing in the stock market has yielded substantially higher returns than keeping money in a savings account. Savings aid in day-to-day expenses, but investments are what make you wealthy, in Sethi's opinion. And I agree. Just pull up a chart of the S&P 500 over the past 100 years. It is compounded at 10% per year. But then what do you do when you need a car or a big appliance like a dishwasher or refrigerator? This takes us to Rule 3. Rule 3. Pay for large expenses, cash. Avoid making significant purchases if you don't have the money for them. Sethi advises having money on hand to pay for whatever you want, whether it's a new automobile or a luxurious vacation. It's not necessary to pay cash because Sethi is a well-known supporter of credit cards. Just be sure to pay off your credit card right away without incurring debt. He does give some wiggle room for housing, acknowledging that paying cash for a home isn't always an option. However, if you're not yet prepared to have a down payment of at least 20%, then you shouldn't buy a home. For my part, I use the sub-savings account method. If I have $100,000 in my savings account, I break it down and allocate that money for future expenses. In other words, $40,000 is allocated to a new car, $20,000 to future repairs to my home, and so on. But what about this whole business of spending money to get rich? Well, here comes rule number 4. Rule number 4, never second guess a buy. Sethi's entire premise is that every one of us should have our own rich life. This entails identifying the simple purchases that make us happy and making them without hesitation. Books, organic fruit, that Starbucks coffee, or maybe a friend's charity event. Just spend the money on this stuff without hesitation. It feels great. It makes you rich. Sethi spends money on everything on this list whenever he wants to. He is not worried about the price for these little everyday expenses. Simply put, quit second-guessing the small purchases that bring you joy and make them. Listen, having Starbucks every day isn't going to stop you from being wealthy. But he goes even further with this line of thinking in rule number 5. Rule number 5, take lengthy flights in business class. For any flight longer than 4 hours, Sethi claims he always flies business class, or first class when flying domestically. Business class is not only far more comfortable, but the added benefits can be well worth the extra cost. For instance, meals and beverages are complimentary, checked luggage are frequently free, and admission to the pre-flight lounge is worth it alone. Number 6, buy the best and make it last. Another Sethi rule that I practice myself. Whenever possible, invest in the highest quality version of a product and keep using it for as long as you can. Since you won't need to replace it as frequently, a high quality item can last decades longer than the less expensive one. Additionally, using it will be a better experience for you. I practice this myself all the time. For example, I like to work out with kettlebells. Therefore, I buy the best kettlebells. I am going to be swinging them every day, so I want them to be of the highest quality. Furthermore, I found the best kettlebell instructor in the East Coast of America to train me. I could have spent less on the trainer down the road, but would not have received the same level of training. Exercising is just too important for my health. Speaking of health, Sethi has opinion on that too, which are helpful. Don't limit healthcare spending. Listen, we only get one body. You must take care of it. According to Sethi, you shouldn't set a spending limit on expenses for your health, including a more expensive gym membership and higher quality food. Buy the organic stuff. Get the expensive fitness trainer. By the way, in this category, your mental health is included as well. And speaking of mental health, what about the people you choose to spend time with? Rule 8, collaborate with respectable people. One of the benefits of being financially independent, in Sethi's perspective, is not having to interact with individuals you don't like or respect. If someone is not deserving of your time and attention, then either fire them if you're the employer or quit if it's your job. You get one life. How can you consider yourself rich if you dislike the people around you? As you can see in Sethi's framework, you need more than money to live rich, which brings us to Rule 9. Rule 9, go beyond the spreadsheet. Go enjoy your life after your personal finance spreadsheets are set up, your savings are automated, and everything is under control. Do the hard work of managing your money now, then go live. Make time for your loved ones, friends, and interests a priority. Otherwise, what's the point? Speaking of loved ones, what about your spouse? Choose the proper spouse. One of the most frequent causes of divorce is financial incompatibility. Long before you say I do, you should probably have a few discussions about your financial priorities. You're kidding yourself if you don't think money is an important aspect of a long-term relationship. Have the money talk. Don't avoid it. In conclusion, you must have a real financial plan. You need money rules. You can't just wing it and hope things will work out, because they won't. You will be old and poor and struggling. Adopting a framework like the one suggested by Ramit Sethi will ensure a much brighter financial future. In the description below, I have links to some of Sethi's best books. Read them. Do it for your future. And by the way, if you thought these 10 money rules were useful, you should watch my video on Morgan Housel. He does a deep dive in the underlying psychology of money. It's great stuff. Watch that video now.